Hello, everyone. You can start your video if you want to.
And to also let you know that I have you all currently just unmuted to keep some of the static down. So if you need to say something, you'll have to unmute yourself as well. Hi, beautiful. Hello. Hi, Trinity. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Pam.
Understood, Pam. That's totally understood.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to give a few minutes for people to come on board, and now we're going to begin. Damini and I welcome you to making the time to join us with Embodiment. This class has been a dance for a while between the two of us, wanting to collaborate and offer something that would be a quieting space amongst a life that asks a lot of us and keeps us in constant motion. So we appreciate you making the time to join us here today. And we would love for you to, and Pam, if you want to type it and not say it, that's fine. But we would love for you to tell us your name, even though there's only a few of us here right now, and the land which you're standing on today to come to class. So I'm obviously Kate, and I'm coming to you today from North Carolina.
And I am Damini, and I am coming from the western suburbs of Philadelphia. We call it Berwyn.
Oh, you have to unmute them.
Yeah, oh, hello.
I just unmuted myself. Hi, girls. It's Trinity. I'm very close to Damini. I'm in the western suburbs as well, named Wynwood.
Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm actually in Northeast Philadelphia. That's about it.
Beautiful.
Pam?
And Pam is not videoing. She is a toddler, and she is from Lower Merion. Fantastic.
Thanks, Pam.
Yeah,
thanks
fantastic.
For being the balance too. So I think we're going to get started.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So the beginning of our class, we are going to do a grounding meditation. And I think a lot of people close their eyes and say, okay, I'm grounded. But the presence, to actually get down into what groundedness and let your roots drop a little bit deeper will be our invitation for today's class. That's why it's called ground, because once that is established, a lot of other things become available to us. So find a place, either in your chair or where you are now, and close your eyes. And feel your body. And notice where that first place reveals herself when you feel your body. Perhaps there's a place that's asking for attention, or there is a place that stops us from going any lower or deeper. And keep your gaze, although your eyes are closed, soft. And let the body self start to soften as it doesn't need to perform. And notice how you're sitting, if there's balance. And let your body find that if there isn't. Soften your belly. And locate your feet. See if you can find the outer rims of your feet, the bone structure. What are the ankles pressed against, if anything? Can you, with your eyes closed, articulate and feel your toes? If you can feel your feet, start to notice the subtleties of energy if they're there. If you can't feel your feet, bring your hands onto your feet and bring the body awareness down. If your mind brings something to attention or a thought arises, or even a noticing of a noise or wishing that your circumstance was different, come back to your feet. Are your feet, when you feel into them, are they connected to the rest of your body? Can the elongation of the bones emanating be received? Can the articulation from your ankle to your hip bone be supported, be acknowledged? And if a tension point arises, it'll draw our breath and our awareness to that point. Hold it, then bring the energy back down to your feet. When we think about the five senses and their relationship with relaying information from the external to the internal, we'll start with the idea of touch. And the mind may go right to the fingertips. But touch includes the entire skin body. It includes the sensation, meaning of your entire system. So from this grounded place, start to notice where the air or your clothing or the support rising up underneath you from your chair is meeting you, creating a sensation of touch. Breathe. Now bring your awareness to your fingertips. And breathe into them. Highly sensitive. If your hands are on your legs, or if your palms are on top of each other, or if you're holding a small child, feel the information coming in and out of your fingertips. Maybe your fingers even need to be relaxed. Letting go of the last text or the last email, words unspoken, are not only held in our jaws now, they're held in our hands. If your palms are face down, let them turn up and feel that subtle activation in your palms as well, that releasing of holding, the letting down of burden just for this moment. We'll take our fingertips and we're going to slowly bring them to the rims of our eyes. These now softened and reawakened fingertips. Let them find the bony structure. And with curiosity, let them meet. Let them travel on their own. And perhaps as they do, they'll rest for a moment, because there are natural rest stops where our fingers meet curvatures and crevices of our bones. And let your fingertips journey around this ridge and listen. Perhaps the fingertips give permission for the bones to exhale, and the eyes rest deeper, also releasing. And when your fingertips may gently start to come down, or I encourage them to come to your nose. But then drop the idea of nose and then let those fingertips be equally investigative. What is this structure here? Where is there soft cartilage? Where does it want me to pause? Where is there a story, if anything? And can I feel my breath? Am I still breathing? Am I still connected to my feet? And when your fingertips have investigated there, let them journey right between the transition, the bridge down from your nose to just above the roof, just above the teeth line would probably be the easiest, and palpate. We say the five senses. How often can we slow down and empty the aperture that is our body? When do we sit and lovingly gaze as we would at a good friend and watch a flutter of expression dance across her face, that we can be present for others? When can we watch with that same curious compassion of our own body, our own jawline? Let your fingers guide. And they can walk up as well towards the ears. There's no rush. But this idea of the five senses, gateways. And with this invitation to touch air on skin, fingertips on mandible, or on zygoma, or on eyebrows. Listen to where there's an invitation, and I'll allow my voice to silence so you can hear your own. As you investigate, you may hear something. It's a gift. It's an offer of information. Listen for it. And at some point, when it feels right, truly, bring your hands over your heart, but use the same curiosity of your fingertips to stay grounded and feel the beat. Come into the structure of intricacy that allows us to be here to investigate and be curious. Ground in to that muscle, that heart, that no matter what emotion we're feeling or story we're uncovering, is still beating. Compassionately committed to your existence. When you feel yourself coming out and back into the moment, and if you have a piece of pen and paper nearby you, write down the gift. What was given to you by you or through you during this meditation?
And as you are writing this gift down, again, allow it to take up space in your body. Invite your senses to caress this gift that comes from embodying your being. This gift that was given by you to you and recognized by all your senses. The gift of reclaiming your space is about really grounding and coming into your body, kind of like a feather landing into a nest with feet. Allowing your being just to kind of get comfortable in your internal space. When you're grounded, you begin to inhabit your space, your body. And you move into the balance of mind, of body, and in heart. And that's the beauty of starting this class on equinox, because the world around us is also mirroring the balance that you are now inhabiting inside yourself. When you are more imbalanced with yourself and life all around you, you become into a stronger relationship with yourself. And understand, embody your own self-authority as well. So feel that inside you. And part of the beauty of being in circle versus doing this on our own is we get to voice what is present for us. And so that's the beautiful act of being grounded inside you and voicing your self-authority, your gift, out to the community. And that actually helps bring it out into the world some as well. So how do you feel? What's present inside you right now? And I'm going to remind you to go ahead and unmute yourself. And Pam, if you have the space to go ahead and text your experience, I'm happy to read that as well. How do you feel inside your body now that you've begun the presence of reclaiming your space? So Pam speaks about the remembrance that I can ground into myself whenever it is needed. That's powerful. That's powerful. Yeah. Anyone else?
I guess I could share. I actually feel yeah, a lot better. I definitely needed that. But I think I have a little different stuff going on now. Believe it or not, I had to get my appendix out last Tuesday, so I know. Who knew, right? So when I guess I'm really feeling in my heart area dropping in there, and it's just like yeah, just I don't know, all the energy around my chest is just fluttering a mile a minute, probably from the the operation, the anesthesia and stuff. But I am very happy to be more in my body, and that does feel really good. So the gift to me really was being able to come back in, because obviously I must have flown the coop with the operation.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. That's beautiful that you brought that forward in Circle, Trinity, because we leave our bodies so often. So yes, in surgery, and yes, when we get excited or we get nervous, and there's all these ways that we leave ourselves, and often they're very unconscious. You don't recognize it till you come back in and have the gift of being in your body. So yeah, coming back in. And does it feel different to come back into your body now versus a couple weeks ago before surgery?
Yeah, yes. I mean, I guess maybe I'm just saying yes because I feel like my body's still traumatized, so I'm just feeling
Yeah.
all this trauma in my
Yeah.
chest. That, like,
Yeah.
still, I think freaking out. It must be because I don't know. I came in, so yeah. I guess the answer is yes. I don't feel as calm as I normally would when I come back in my body and ground. I guess maybe this is what I jumped away from too. I didn't really want to be with,
Right.
so now I can be with the shock, I suppose. What happened? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's part of, yeah, I'm sorry, Kim.
No, that's all right. I was going to say I'm going to investigate more. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And just the beautiful exercise that Kate brought us through of really allowing all our senses to explore the places where we're comfortable, where we land, and the places that are like, ooh, I don't know if I want to land there. I don't know if I want to come back into my body. I mean, that's fine. It is the dance of inhabiting, and to really use your senses, touching, feeling, smelling, tasting, all of that to come back in. And if you feel yourself wobbling, like what Trinity just talked about, it's okay. It's okay. It's where you are in the moment. We're not putting heavy boots on you. We're inviting you to kind of land back into yourself and understand when you just start shifting up and in and up and in, because that is part of how we move through life, right? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Trinity, I also appreciate it because I feel like when there's a trauma to the body or anything else, often we're told, well, you're okay now.
Right.
Go ahead. And I appreciate the reminder that all of us heal in stages, and that to even have the connection to the body to know that you're going to come back in and come back in is something that I can use reminder of and have experienced myself after surgery, and wish it would be a more commonplace conversation. So thanks for bringing it up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. So what was it like to kind of take up some of your own space again? To invite your being to inhabit your body? Anything else come up?
Is this for everybody, or are you just talking?
Yeah, I'm talking
Okay.
to everybody.
Okay.
I know for me, coming back into my space gets me more focused about what I felt like I was missing.
Mm,
So one of the key things that like my brain kept saying over and over was just that you are worthy. You're worthy of all the love, all the
mm,
compassion, all the healings that you can get from the universe. You're not what people say that you are, and you know the universe is there to take care of you.
that's beautiful. And does that resonate throughout your body when you
For
hear
me,
that?
yes. Well, for me, like the part that I was having most pain was in my chest, and I have a
Mm,
chest cold right now. But even when she was saying feel your heart, I couldn't feel my heartbeat, but I know I'm alive because I'm breathing.
right.
But even from the tips of my fingers, I can't feel that pulse. And right in this area to my throat is where it feels the most closed off.
Mm, mm,
And I've had that
mm,
problem for a while. So it was just reminding me you still have a lot of work in these areas, not to give up.
mm, that's beautiful. Melissa, did you notice, like, if you bring your awareness to your feet, if you don't mind just trying a little uh, experiment with me, like if you're feeling it tight up here, right? What happens if you just bring your awareness to where your body's touching the earth? Let your attention and breath go to that place. See if it changes this at all. No pressure here either, but
For me, when I focus it downward,
uh-huh.
I do feel like it kind of pulling out,
Hmm.
but
So it's
also for
traveling
me,
down.
yeah, I can feel it kind of traveling down. It was never like going upwards, like bubbling
Yeah.
up. What did bubble up is just, I guess, the initial emotion of fear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's it. It didn't really last long. It gently like just washed away, and it's
Yeah.
just brings me back to a little more focus in my body with everything around it, and it
Yeah.
just helps to let go.
That's it right there. Put your feet on the ground. Allows more flow to move through your body. What wants to let go, lets go. What wants to be present is present, right? But that's the work, right? It's like, how do you do this throughout the day? You know, when you're at work or you're with your kids or you're driving, you know, it's like we are the queens of multitasking in this culture right now, right? You know, we're driving and eating and drinking and moving and doing and listening to the radio. We're engaging all our senses. And then, you know, the invitation for the next couple of days, for the next part of your life, is to just keep focusing on what is it like if I take a moment and breathe and bring my awareness back to my body, back to my feet, you know, and then notice what happens. I mean, I believe, and Kate and I have talked a lot about this, becoming embodied really means about noticing what your body is doing and speaking to you. You know, not just the mind, but, you know, our feelings and our sensations as well.
Indeed.
And Melissa, you just did that beautifully. You just shared that beautifully with us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else have something that they want to presence? You know, now that we've been talking a little, how do you notice your grounding is holding? You know, it's like, you know, the mind takes us up here, and how do we, as we are in equinox, how do we hold both? How do we hold our feet and our mind in this beautiful space at the same time? instead of letting one run over the other. Yeah. Huh. So Pam,
Well
yeah. Do you want to address that, Kate?
said. I couldn't help but chuckle. Yeah, go ahead.
So Pam just wrote, it's like, I have extreme resistance to feeling grounded. My mind highly devalues it, right? That's it in a nutshell. Thanks,
Yeah.
Pam.
Yeah, that's the whole deal. That's it right there. And I think
Right.
through this class, in the creation of it with Damini, I found that every time I would truly ground in my feet, chatter of the head couldn't override it. And that thus, so I mean, I couldn't have articulated it better, Pam. My mind also highly devalues me being grounded.
Yeah, me too. I think that's the best thing. Oh, the mind.
The mind devalues it, right? The mind is the place that holds value as well, right?
That's so
Yeah,
nice.
I want to say, you know, like all through history, all through time, all through different levels of meditation practices and goddess practices, and you know, we can go on and on about this. It's like they're all practices to get us into the body, you know, to get us back into the visceral of ourselves, of reclaiming our authority by coming back to our body. And as soon as we say, yes, we are coming back here, the mind's like, whoa, oh no, I don't think that's a very good idea. And it just goes, ba, 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 ba. You know, and so there's the dance. You know, I hear you, you know, in the mind or the fear, as I think Melissa talked about it. It's like the things that throw you out of yourself, you don't have to leave your room. You don't have to leave this call and they'll show up. So it's like, oh yeah, I hear you. Oh, is this what you're telling me? You know, it's like, okay, I get it. But how do we come back into our self-authority? That's what this whole 4 days is about, like coming back into this beautiful, vibrant, grounded, wisdom-filled being. Yeah, right? And the mind starts chattering again.
I find it's also really practical. Like the more that I have to do, the less time I make for my practices. And I also have a toddler, so I'm not pretending that I have a broad time span right now for practices, but I have found that in trying to schedule successfully, if I ground for a few minutes, the priorities rearrange themselves. And I don't think you have to have a small person to do it. He's just forcing me to walk my walk. That's why I'm addressing it. And it's really true. So as much as it helps in the sovereignty of walking our path, it also can help in like really creating more space for yourself, because it calls you to task on, are you running away from the thing that you need to be doing? And that's where you're moving from. So I appreciate the reflection, like Melissa was saying about the fear, you know what I mean? It's there and it can keep being moved through, I guess. And thank you.
Yeah. I sometimes think of the grounding process almost like a grounding rod that they put outside homes mostly. And so and the theory is if you got overwhelmed by electricity, it would go right into the earth and it would neutralize it, right? And so this conversation is the same for our body, where when you're grounded, all the external overload just goes whoosh, right down into the earth. And so it helps you then think clearly or listen more compassionately to yourself or to other people around you, because it takes all that static, that overload, and it just makes it go, oh, for a moment. And it's all by the nature of coming back into your body. And you might notice that all this kind of flutter in the mind, or I just call it static in the field, will kind of consolidate And then you can think more clearly, as Kate was talking about, and prioritize and just really be present. And, you know, if you can get little moments of presence throughout the day, that's the gift. You know, that's when you start to really trust what your being is telling you, and not your mind that's trying to get you to go somewhere else as well. So what would it be like if, you know, throughout the day today, you just brought your awareness to your senses, to your body, to your flesh, to your feet, you know, and in whatever act that you're doing, if you're washing dishes and your hands in the water, like take that moment just to notice the sensation of that, you know, of breathing or feeling the wind across your face or whatever shows up, or your heart beating because you've gotten excited or nervous, or, you know, something else is kicking in that you don't even have words for. The body will give you a lot of information if you just learn to come back to it and let it be your inner wisdom. Yeah. Kate, anything?
So I think the invitation Damini has given, this is a process. I mean, it's an invitation these 4 days, but they do build on each other. And so it is a gentle invitation. And I think that if the more disconnected you are, the best bet is to connect to your feet. Everything else will sort of follow. So for some of us, we might have time to do that. And for another one of us, we might have to actually like write on a Post-it note before we go to bed, like ground to your feet. And I'm in that category, so I'm not trying to be trite. I have to remind myself. And allow that to happen even if you're on a phone call. See if you can do that at least 2 or 3 times before our next call tomorrow, and see what information that gives to you. And it's really that, right? It's information from you to you. We're reestablishing those channels because there's so much today about you getting information outside of you, that embodiment is about giving us practices to go back to the always reliable source of information coming from within. So that is our invitation.
Yeah, and the screensavers, the reason that we have those lovely little screensavers, if you put them on your technology, like every time you turn your phone on, it's like, oh, ground, just for that moment, you know, it's kind of just like, it's an invitation. It's an invitation for you to come back to yourself. So, yeah, enjoy this day of coming back to your beautiful self and engaging in all your senses. And take the time to, you know, if you can, 30 seconds throughout the day, just notice how you feel as your body is kind of taking in all the information that you've gotten throughout this call. And again, we'll meet tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And yeah, I think we wish you a beautiful, grounded, embodied day.
Happy equinox.
Happy equinox, yay.
Yes.
Ready.
Happy equinox.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Trini.
you're so welcome.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, and thank you everybody who's going to listen to this call later on as well. We're all holding space for you, and you're also really part of this community. So we look forward to feeling into your energy over the next couple days as well.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good day.